So I started watching How I Met Your Mother in the March of this year. Watching the first two seasons of the show was a bit weird for me because while I enjoyed the individual episodes of the show, I couldn't really care about the Ted and Robin situation because in the very first episode of the show, we were told that Robin is not the mother of Ted's kids.
Because that, kids, is the true story of how I met your Aunt Robin.
Obviously, back then I did not know how the show would end, so watching the show was a bit weird for me. But then I went on YouTube and watched the ending of the show, and somehow, having watched only 2 seasons of the show, I believed that since I know the ending, watching Ted and Robin get together and break up and get together again will not be as exhausting, and I might not hate the ending as much as other people did. But boy, was I wrong. Before I talk about the final season and the ending of the show, let's discuss some things that I absolutely loved about it. Neil Patrick Harris as Barney Stinson. Perfect casting, perfect acting, best character in a sitcom. Marshall and Lily. Obviously, a very beautiful relationship between the two, and the way they overcome their problems is absolutely amazing. And the jokes and the writing of the show and how everything in an episode comes into a full circle by the end. It's pretty satisfying to watch.
Here's the thing about mistakes. Sometimes, even when you know something's a mistake, you gotta make it anyway.
Ah, sweet damn, that's a hot plate.
Is this milk any good?
Ted Mosby is kind of a stupid guy, but he reminds me too much of how I used to be in class 11th. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a grown man to act like a 16-year-old, but it's fun to watch, so I'll give it a pass. Now the negatives. I did not like the character of Robin. Though I absolutely loved her in the initial seasons and the initial episodes of the show, as the story progressed, she became very indecisive and annoying, which is a character trait that I personally find very, very hard to watch. Her entire love story and marriage with Barney did not make any sense to me. When they date for the first time, it ends badly for both of them. Because at that point in the story, their relationship is not built on mutual understanding, trust, and respect, but more on physical and sexual aspects. It's not love, it's more of attraction. And with time, the attraction fades away and they break up for good. It's somewhat understandable to me that someone like Barney, who doesn't have a meaningful relationship in his life, might fall for Robin because she is his friend and gives him attention and love. But seeing someone like Robin, who is so career oriented, fall in love with someone like Barney, who doesn't really have any redeeming qualities that a person might fall for. As an audience, we love Barney Stinson because he's funny and the things he says are so ridiculous that it makes you laugh. But if you see it from the perspective of his friends, he's not the best guy. So Robin obsessing over him, crying when he starts banging other girls, it just did not make any sense to me. After they break up, they definitely date other people and Ted is still in love with Robin. But Robin and Barney get back together by the end of season 8. And Barney actually manipulates Robin into saying yes, which in real life is a massive red flag. I don't know why Robin didn't see it.
The Robin. Will you marry me?
Anyway, they end up together, and this brings us to the final season of How I Met Your Mother. We are introduced to Tracy in the last scene of the season 8 of How I Met Your Mother. She's so beautiful. Anyway, the entire 9th season of the show takes place over the span of 2 or maybe 3 days. There are flashbacks to when Tracy met all the other people of the group and glimpses of what Ted and Tracy's future together is. But the build-up that their relationship needed is never shown in this season. Something which was done very well for Ted and Stella, Ted and Zoe, and Ted and Victoria. Tracy was supposed to be the special girl who is chosen for Ted. She is the one, she is made for Ted. She is the female Ted Mosby. She is the one Ted has waited his whole life for, but she is never given the special treatment that Zoe, Stella, and Victoria were given. And it's quite shitty. This ruins what was supposed to be very, very special for Ted and for the audience. The entire 9th season of the show builds up to Robin and Barney's wedding, only to have them divorced in the very next episode. The ending of the show was decided and shot well back in the season 1 or maybe season 2. But since the second season, the show goes a million places and we see the growth of every single character. Ted grows, Ted learns, and Ted finally lets Robin go. He meets Tracy, he realizes that she's the one for him. They fell in love, they get married, and they have kids. And during the last 5 minutes of the finale, all of it is laid to waste just so that Ted could get back with Robin. It's shitty. It's very shitty. In the show, it is implied that Tracy used to have a boyfriend who passed away. Now imagine someone with that sort of trauma falling in love with you, deciding to be in love again, getting married, and having kids with you. That must be a very special relationship, right? But because the way the show ends, it's implied that Ted never really got over Robin, he just settled for the next best person he could find. And when that next best person died, that bastard decided to get back and bang Robin again. It's shitty, it's very shitty. It's shitty of the writers to do that. It's shitty of Ted as a character to do that to the mother of his children. It's very bad. Here's what should have been done with the show, that it would have made the ending a bit more wholesome and heartfelt. The first 5 or 6 episodes of the season 9 would have shown us Barney and Robin getting married. And at the end of the celebration, Ted finally meets Tracy. Then the different stages of their relationship could have been explored. Maybe even at some point they could have had a fight and broken up, only to realize that they are the one for each other and they should get back together. There could have been a montage of them having their life together, and all of that leading to the point where they meet each other for the first time at the railway station. And Ted's voice would have said,
And that, kids, is how I met your mother.
the show would have ended there. It would have been very wholesome. Now I know the production of the show was a very long and difficult one, but considering how amazing and good the show was, the ending really disappointed me. I really feel this show deserved a much better ending, and we as an audience deserved a better conclusion to Ted's story.
You're a dirty hoe bag just like me.